Hello guys. Today's video is on the top 5 best garden shredder 2020. Through extensive research and testing, I've put together a list of options that will meet the needs of different types of buyers. So whether it's price, performance, or particular use, we've got you covered. Don't skip any single of frame. Watch till the end. For more information on the products, I've included links in the description box below, which are updated for the best prices. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Bosch shredders dominate the market, and with good reason. They're very well built, efficient, and generally reliable. Rather like an enormous masticating juicer, this quiet electric-powered 2,500-watt turbine model uses a bladed drum that spins relatively slowly under massive torque, trapping, crushing, and cutting branches up to 45 mm in diameter against a solid plate. This model handles both wood and leafy material, as was amply demonstrated when I fed it half a fig tree, green fruit and all. It chopped and crushed the whole thing into tiny pieces and deposited them into the box below, ready for easy disposal in the garden bin or compost heap. Some shredding aficionados will even spread the nutritious remains over flowerbeds. Rather considerately of Bosch, this heavyweight model comes ready built with the wheels already attached, so all you need to do is clip in the top hopper, ensure the 53-liter collection box is properly engaged, switch it on and shred. The top of the chute has a wider access than others in this roundup, and that makes it generally easier to stuff in branches of a more unwieldy nature, while the included tamper helps release mutinous vegetation. Granted, it's very top-heavy and quite tricky to move around the garden. The wheels aren't really wide enough apart, but at least it splits in two for easier storage. If you have a mixture of both woody and leafy materials, this Bosch is your best bet. It justifies its slightly higher price by being extremely effective, easy to use, and quiet enough to not disturb the neighbors. You're not going to get Bosch-like build quality at this price, but what you will get is an extremely efficient multi-talented shredder that mulches both woody and leafy material in a thrice. Just be sure to keep tree branches below the 45 mm maximum diameter and snip off any extraneous branches, or they won't fit through the feeder portal. The 2000-watt Einhell uses a pair of fast-spinning blades to cut through vegetation, but larger pieces of hardwood and too many leaves will likely block the chute, which means reaching for the included tamper. It's quite a scary machine, mind, since it literally slices through cuttings and branches in quite a violent and exceedingly noisy manner. Thank heavens the blades are well out of harm's way. Thankfully, a motor circuit breaker switch cuts in to protect it from overloading. The Einhell performs surprisingly well when fed a pile of long, thick rose branches, chopping the whole lot up into small 5 mm pieces, with only the occasional hiccup. Although it's equipped with a discharge funnel, you will need to place a sheet of tarpaulin or a large plastic trug, B&Q do an excellent range, BTW, underneath the chute to catch all the clippings. If you only do occasional pruning and don't require the brute force of a Bosch or Titan, then this is a good budget-priced starting point. It's light enough to easily wheel around the garden, small enough for shed storage, and it performed better than some of the more expensive competition. If you can't afford the all-conquering Bosch Axe 25TC, give this cheaper but equally useful alternative a whirl. It's a lot more mobile for start, though. You will need a box, tarpaulin or garden trug, one of those handy round soft plastic garden tidies that garden centers sell, underneath it to collect the ejected detritus. The Rapid 2200 uses tough laser-cut blades to slice through vegetation, preferably of the harder, drier variety, in a thrice. It'll happily swallow branches up to 40 mm in diameter, though you may need to trim a few stems in order to feed those branches of a more ungainly persuasion into the hopper. This model is quite reminiscent of the much cheaper B&Q model we're quite smitten with above. But, given it's a Bosch with a whopping 2200-watt motor attached, we, perhaps ill-advisedly, assume it will last quite a bit longer. But don't take our word for it. Got a garden with a mixture of hard-wooded trees, firs, shrubs, and rubbery plants? Step tight this way, because this tall-standing, multifunctional model does the lot by dint of a unique blade rotation reversal system that deals with both hard and soft materials. For leaves, twigs, and palm fronds, flick the switch on the front and shove some greenery into the large opening. The blades spin at high speed, dripping everything to shreds. Likewise, when it comes to the harder stuff, turn the knob to the branch setting, feed in anything up to 35 mm in diameter, and out comes a pile of tiny wood chippings, ready for the compost heap, the borders, or the green wheelie bin. This model doesn't come with a collection box, though it does at least feature a guard hood. I'd advise placing a garden tarpaulin underneath the exit chute so you don't end up with a garden full of chippings and mulched leaves. The Stilge 355 is an extremely efficient shredder coom chipper, but it costs over £100 more than the Bosch and, at 1.41 meters, is taller and a whole lot louder. But hey, it's a Stihl, so you can safely expect it to shred till the cows come home. Dirty Pro Tools probably had a massive laugh after they came up with their name, but it is now dawning on them that they are stuck with it forever. Never mind, their Dirty Garden shredder may or may not be pro, but it is equipped with a powerful 2,500-watt engine that should be able to shred most things short of a crowbar. Users queue up to applaud the way this cheap and chunky chaff chewer gulps down branches up to 40 centimeters in diameter and then farts them out into a large 50-liter box as little wooden chips. Ironically, the more seemingly lightweight likes of leaves can cause it to choke, splutter and come to a halt, so stick to the heavy stuff. You can clear blockages easily enough by unscrewing a knob and gaining access to the blades. I'd advise doing this with the machine switched off, but it's a free country. As is the case with most shredders, you'll save a lot of hassle by just getting the all-leaf blower out, assembling them in a neat pile, then bagging them up. At this price you're not going to be getting the best quality components, and, sure enough, one common online complaint with this shredder is that its blades blunt quickly. On the other hand, which I thankfully still have, to get something that shreds as well as this for a shade over £100 is quite a rare treat.